This is a matchup you love to see. This is going to be Henry versus Wesley. This is in, I believe, a $2,000 Players Lounge tournament. I will leave a link to the stream. Henry streamed this, and so I wanted to break this game tape down. These obviously are, I would say, probably the top two players, with maybe Fancy right there, John Beast right there. Like both those guys, really top three, four players over the last 5 to 7 years. As far as I can remember, pretty much, maybe not 5 to 7, maybe like 5 years, I would say. Pretty much since like Madden 21, Madden 20, Madden 21. Wesley and Henry have kind of been the top players, and they've gone head to head. They've gone back and forth, and Henry's pretty much gotten the better of Wesley for the most part in the big tournaments, but it does. But their skill level is very very much so like this is gonna be a good matchup. So it's going to be a good matchup to watch. Wanted to go ahead and get into this game. Wesley is going to be in Lions playbook, and Henry, interestingly, is going to start out in this dime 2-3 defense. I believe is he? Or no, he is in. Yeah, he's in dime 2-3 here. So basically, Henry's going to be in Vikings defense playbook. Wesley is probably going to be in Lions. Wesley runs Lions for this Bunch X Nasty, a couple of other plays that it has compared to Jags, and he's going to probably stay in Bunch X Nasty the majority of this game. Now, that being said, Henry here so far in this little 2-3-6 or maybe even 1-4-6 right here. Actually, this might be the 1-4-6. This looks like crossfire more so to me. But basically, he's going to loop here, or he could loop this way. And he's got the safeties on close and pinch, so they're going to be tighter for seam streaks. But in general, one of the main reasons you're seeing this is because it's a little easier to contain a mobile quarterback. A lot of people are going to this 1-4. So, anyways, you see here, he's actually going to crossman his user across the field onto this guy so that when he switch sticks off, he is just going to man up to him. So, kind of running a little bit of a hybrid coverage, I would assume here. As you can see off rip with this Bunch X Nasty, Wesley is going to run this little flat route. He's going to have, there's this threat of a short corner here to the left side. And then the other thing is, the biggest thing here is the looping, and you'll see this send four. So you see here, send four, Wesley blocks the blitz, but it's harder. It's not impossible, but harder for him to roll out. Now, let's take a look at the route combo. So for the route combo right here, you got the running back shooting to the flat. You've got that stem down corner. You've got a hard flat here, hard flat here. What basically just appears to essentially be kind of a cover three with two yellows or the user manned up. Now, the purpose of the manned up user, I would bet, is for what Wesley does here. He's got a backside drag. He's got a backside post, and then he's got this backside stemmed up curl, one of the most popular routes in the game, and really a route that Wesley loves. What Henry is probably planning to do is when he switch sticks off of this guy to go to maybe this guy to go lurk that, then this man up will actually go guard this curl route. So you're going to see right here, see he's switching right there at that point. Wesley ends up taking a quick underneath read. And that's honestly one of the things that I think makes Wesley one of the better passers in this game and in the switch stick era for sure, is he really takes his underneath very consistently. Wesley is a fairly, when he was playing earlier on, he was more of like kind of a, roll out, make big plays on the run thrower. But really the last couple of years, I think he's become one of the most efficient passers in the entire game. So, and again, I'll leave links to these guys' sites and all that stuff in the description if you guys want to check them out. But anywho, what you're going to see here again, we're going to go crossfire again. The contains off the send 4. You're going to see here Wesley again blocks the blitz. Now, the other thing I want to show you is the route combos, though, that you're seeing these guys utilize. Really, really, really high level route combos here. I don't know why this guy moved right there. That's kind of odd to me. But anyway, this is Bunch X Nasty. He calls motion cross post. Now, the reason why he's calling this play is because it has this cross route to the running back. Not only is this route good against man coverage, but it essentially allows you to have a formation as if the running back was over here, with the running back staying over here and still having the threat to go this way. So it's just a really nice, unique route, and it's going to pull flat zones really well as well. So he's got that, and then he's got this little return route right here. So the idea is to essentially use that return route to attack this little square right here. And so you'll see that the cross route will pull the flat to the outside, and then there will be this little window that you can throw right in this little pocket. And then the other thing that he's doing here on the backside, and you see he already makes his decision. And honestly, I feel like this might, I don't know if I would categorize as a bad read, but he kind of like processes almost too quickly. I guess it was a curl flat, but the curl flat's able to rally down, and he basically gains no yards there, maybe an inch, right? But no yards really. So, anyways, another thing that Wesley's going to do is he's going to audible to Y off trio close. This is kind of the main reason I think for him shifting, because he was in Jets earlier in the year, and I love Jets personally. But I think this was the main reason for him shifting to Lions is because it has this Y off trio close. Now, what Y off trio close has is it has a play action play with an auto motion that you can stem up. So like you have to worry about this auto motion fade. Then you have a play action blocking, and the play action blocking, what he's going to do is he's going to call play action play, and then he's going to probably reset his pass protection to base protection typically. And essentially, like, again, because Henry's defense is this loop, when you try to loop against play action, normally the blitzer just runs straight down. So it does a really good job of killing not only the loop blitz, but pretty much any blitz. It kills a lot of blitzes in this game. And then Wesley's going to essentially just kind of freestyle combos out of that, with this. So as you see here, see how the loop just kind of dies and he just runs right to the center. What Wesley is going to do here is he has a return route, he has an out route, he has a running back wheel, which gets in a really nice spot. And then I would think this is a streak, and then this is like a post. So the purpose for the post and the return route is it gives the user something to guard over here. And if the user goes over here, which as you see Henry is doing, he's going to go left. See how he's going left here. Now we're basically creating a high-low stress on this yellow zone where you see this return route has got a lot of space here. The other thing is, with this being a streak, more than likely, Henry kind of messes up and switches here. He might have wanted to switch here. I don't know. But he kind of gets himself out of position. And this could be an easy touchdown if Wesley sees this. But again, Wesley primarily is going to focus on that underneath passing. And he's just going to take that automatic, like, I see you go left, I'm going to throw right. I see you go right, I'm going to throw left. I see you go high, I'm going to throw low. So he's not going to miss his underneath. And that's what made him, that's honestly what I think makes him one of the most consistently good passers in this game. So you see again, now this time Henry is not going to contain. He's going to get a shed here. And basically you've got, your essential, what I think he actually ran. I'll show you the route combo. One of the things that happens in this game is the tight end is really finicky and he bumps a lot of stuff. So what you'll see here is this play action play has like a crosser on it, like this, that goes this direction. And so what Wesley probably is going to do here is he's going to run a drag route and he's going to run a return route, but then he's also going to run this little Texas route right here. And so if this thing runs smoothly, you're going to get this tight end getting open right here, the running back getting open right here, and then you've got this return route getting open right here, which is essentially kind of a triangular passing concept. So you see here, you get the clear out. See how the tight end just kind of doesn't do what he's supposed to do, so he gets bumped. Running backs here, and now you've kind of got a sloppy combo to a degree. But Wesley saw last play that Henry was switching to that middle third defender. And you're going to see right here that essentially Henry user is this middle third defender. And so because he doesn't have a third, you're going to see that Wesley's going to try to just outrun him. And he probably like freeformed and high pointed it to get a little bit more like loft and direction on the ball. And because of that, he ends up overthrowing the streak. Honestly, though, probably a good thing because Henry did a good job of just kind of sticking with his user responsibility and running him back into coverage. Here's what Henry's going to go to on a second down coverage shell. Take a look at some of the things that he's doing. So again, you see that this is crossfire. You have a hard flat, what looks to be a zone dropped purple here on this slot corner. Another thing that he's doing that you don't see is he's actually backing these slot corners up like super far. So the reason for that is because the stem down corner, what'll happen is this hard flat will play it really well. But then this curl flat is really designed to play like a deeper corner route. So he has those on both sides really. So anyways, the other thing here is surprising is he's not really containing. Now he takes that purple, mans him up to the tight end because of the auto motion. And because in the auto motion, what normally is going to happen is it's going to be a combo that essentially looks like this. And so this man up will help kind of bracket that tight end. So you see he has a streak, he has a cross flat route, he has a fade, and then he has basically a drag. And this is the Wesley thing, like this is these stemmed up curls as you see here. So you see in here, he actually goes with 2 stemmed up curls, which is kind of surprising. And Henry does a really good job. He takes that one away, he takes that one away, and plays really good defense there. Wesley has to kind of scramble and really break up the play. So that's going to bring up a third down and 10. And again, this is Wesley's first drive. So normally you're not going to get a. Normally it's you're going to, and you see here. Once again, Henry. So situationally, right? 3rd and 10. He's trying to get a stop. It's his first drive. So he goes with this kind of again. He's running a lot of like cover 3 at the hook instead of like what most people would do. And what we've seen for years is like cover 2. But this year's game, vert hooks are terrible. So what you're seeing a lot of people do is they'll hook curl this guy, they'll have a flat, and then this could either be like a deep half, like an invert, or it could just be a standard deep third. The other thing is because so many people are running bunch, right? This seam streak throw is not as open as if you were in the tight doubles. Like if there was a tight end here and he could threaten the seam, I think it would make it, it would just change the dynamic a little bit. But anyways, Wesley going to go to wild trio, and you see here Henry mans his user up here. Why is he doing that? Because he's anticipating a wheel route to the running back. So he's going to switch stick off. As you see here, he gets that. You see the running back going on the wheel. He's got that guarded really, really well. Wesley, again, processing super fast. This is what I don't understand is, and it could just be like a situational thing, but maybe he's trying, I don't know. I feel like he's switch sticking really aggressively on this middle third, and he doesn't really have, like, because this is a third and this is a third, he doesn't have help. So he switch sticks here, probably to go guard like a post or a curl. And Wesley runs a lot of curls. So maybe that's it. But here you see the streak again. That's the second time on this drive that, really he's had the streak wide open but missed it. But he is getting pressured. So that's another reason. Maybe he switched it down because of the pressure and he's able to take the post away. And then really this hook curl is doing a good job of basically defending the return route. And what it appears to be, you can't really see who he was throwing to. It kind of looks like, I think, the return route. But on his first drive, Henry is going to be able to get him onto a 4th and 10. So again, Wesley comes out short side here. Henry just adjusting a little bit. Now you're going to see a little bit more cover 2. He's going to go with the flip here. Henry has the outside guy manned up, but now he's going to have to adjust things a little bit. He doesn't have a middle third right now. So he's getting real aggressive, right? He's manning up. This is what Henry tends to do on big downs is he'll kind of do some more man-based defense. So you see here, man's up, and then just switch sticks. He's really just trying to sell out to get that stop. Route combo for Wesley, kind of really interesting. So what you're going to see here, which this is a good route combo, he has that stem down corner for what I call like an access throw, like that could be wide open there. It could also be covered. Henry does a good job manning up, gets that press animation. And then the other thing is he has his running back on a streak. Henry's got that hook curl right there to defend that. And then he's probably got this guy in a third or a cloud, one of the two things. Now, let's get to the left side. So what you'll see here is that Wesley on the left-hand side, you'll see what he does. Take a look and see if we could actually see the adjustments. So I believe that this is a man up. So he's going to walk this guy down, man him up. So he's got this guy manned up, this guy manned up. You know, essentially he's got man coverage with like a purple. He's only seeing 4. Another thing that Henry's doing, which again is really interesting, is he's running like he has been in double mug majority, but because of Michael Vick, right? Because of the scramble ability, I believe that is why you're seeing so much 146 here. So anywho, we know that this is a hook curl, and then we know that he's going to man up right there. So you see, there's the man up, the bring down, and then really Henry is going to essentially use her here. But if this guy runs like a streak, he's going to switch to this deep half. So you'll see he'll get back on his user here. So he gets back to his user. He instantly sees, okay, he runs vertical, so I'm going to go to the deep half. So he goes to the deep half here. Then this is interesting. So he leaves the deep half. He switches back to this hook curl to essentially take this running back away. Now, again, as I said, I did want to just look at the combo that Wesley uses on the left side and what it appears to be as a corner, a streak, and a stemmed up curl route. So you see here, well, it looks like the tight end was the corner route. I don't know for sure. This honest, it's hard to kind of tell what happens here on the left side because he gets bumped. He gets bumped, which is probably why Henry runs so much man and big downs. But it's a stem down corner. It's a period to me like it's a curl, but I don't know for sure, right? And then it's a streak. And so this could also be that motion HB choice with the really unique seam streak to the slot receiver. But basically, Henry just calls perfect defense and kind of just bagged up on 4th down with a huge stop against, like I said, one of the best passers that I've seen over the last at least 5 years. And yeah, it's a huge stop for Henry. All right, so Henry's going to be in Jags. So Henry's going to be in Jags. Has a lot more audible round capability. Going to go to this Y off trio. And Wesley just going to basically man up everything and take it away. The thing with man coverage is man coverage can bag, but man coverage can also get fried, right? And so what you tend to see with higher level players is they use man coverage rather sparingly. They'll use it on a 4th and 10 or a big down like that. So you see right here, Henry's immediately going to go to his man beating play here. And this has got a speed out. It's got a seam streak. It's got a running back speed in route. It's got a drag underneath. And then I don't know what he puts over here, probably a post or crosser. But anywho, you're going to see he just takes that underneath. That running back in route just cooks man coverage. And he just gets to that really quickly. He's able to get get several yards. One of the things you see consistently in top level passing is they're not going to miss the underneath. Now, Wesley, ironically, is going to be running the defense that we thought Henry was going to be in, and Henry might still get into it. But basically, this defense is the double mug. I think it's the 3-3 double mug. You've got Texas 4-man stunt. That's one option. You've got a send for like this. That's another option. And then I've called this the Henry Blitz because he was the first one I saw running it, where he'll stand here, he'll blitz like this, and then you'll get pressure with a contain or a rollout. So you can get a send 4 that gets clean pressure against 5 out. So this, to me, gives you a lot of pressure capabilities. Pretty much standard. You're still going to see safeties on more than likely close and pinch for Wesley. His safeties are kind of moving around weirdly. But anywho, here we're going to get a tight end wheel from Henry. We're going to get that corner route, I believe a wheel. And then he's got kind of this really unique in route and then that return route trailing it. But again, I talked about the pressure that you can get from this. And this is what's interesting because Vic kind of breaks this defense because when you do get this pressure, a lot of times you can roll out. But what you're going to see here is that you get the pressure and Vic can't really go anywhere. The scramble glitch that was found during the MCS elims has kind of been banned. You can still do the air truck one, but the like where you juke out and you can it's almost like escape artist. Like he can't really. I think he's probably trying to prepare for the tournament. I'm pretty sure that's banned. So here he's just trying to get rid of the ball, and I think he just throws it away. So a good throwaway. Gonna live to play another down, right? But he did get screamed at on that double mug there, so that just kind of shows if that scramble glitch is there, he probably immediately goes. So here, Henry probably looking to scramble. Wesley goes with that send for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's going to engage and peel his user out. And so you see here immediately. Now, this right here is the one that you can do. This is the air truck. So he's going to truck and you'll see right here, he'll get a little bit of a speed burst, but not able to get completely out there. But he's also able to, kind of see what's open. And basically here, Wesley, you see the bumping. This is what I just talked about with man coverage. The defenders bump, and because he's in man and he's trying to put a purple out there, the defenders bumped one another, which happens all the time in this game. And this is a free touchdown when, really, at least a free big play puts him in red zone position, able to score here. Obviously, red zone is honestly where the advantage shifts to the defense, but again, this is the idea, like bumping leads to big plays. That's why man coverage is like such a, I don't know, such a almost, I don't know if it's dice roll is the right word, but it's the word that comes to my mind. Anyway, he's gonna go spacing switch here. Nothing really open, but scrambles out of there with Vic, and there's the air truck. There he goes, and that's why Vic is best quarterback in the game, and this is really how Vic should be, in my opinion. Like when he drops, he should be like just the best quarterback, but he's on another level right now. He's very very good. All right, so second defensive draft for Henry. He's going to stay in this 1-4-6. I actually think he's in 2-3-6 Sam. I've been telling you guys wrong. He actually is in that 2-3-6 Sam. I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell because he gets a boom there, but no fumble. Yeah, 2-3 Sam. So he is in that 2-3 Sam. He's just going to be looping right to left then if he's in 2-3 Sam. So yeah, I must have been telling you guys wrong. It kind of looked like it was 1-4-6, and he might have just switched to 2-3 Sam, honestly. But anywho, here, so as you see, again, this is a great read from Wesley. So why a lot of people run Lions is for this play. This is the motion HB choice. It's the play I was talking about a second ago. It has do like a slot streak, right? This play has like a streak like that, basically. And so what happens is if you're playing cover three, like because that's what Henry's been doing. Now, if Henry deep halves this guy, more than likely this doesn't work. But he's been cover three here, cover three here, right? Well, what you're able to do is you could put a streak. You have that kind of unique streak, and then you have like a corner route, and then you could put a drag, but a lot of people put like a tight end post. And so basically, what happens is this third is going to go guard this streak. This third is going to bite down on the corner, or he's just going to widen out for the post. So he's going to widen out, and you'll see it literally creates like a seam for him to be able to throw it. So you see here, he actually gets the blitz to come in, and Wesley just right on time just throws this based off of anticipation and just trusting the combination, and he's able to pop this cover three and get a nice rat catch. He's going to get a touchdown out of it. So great route combo for Wesley. You see Henry just taking a quick look, making sure he understands what he did. But it's a great read from Wesley, and Wesley's going to be able to get back in the game, tied up, and now he's going to shift to the defensive side of the ball, try to get a stop on Henry. So these two kind of fill out drives, first drives, and then now you're starting to see really both players start to settle in to the game. Also, if you've gotten value from this, make sure you join our school community. It's $10. Links in the description and get you access to all of my offensive, defensive ebooks for Madden, for college football, everything that I know about the game. I put into that community. So if you want to become better at either game, make sure you join the school community, and that link is in the description. And again, it's only $10 to become a member. So back on this here. So you're gonna see here's Henry with that stemmed up curl. See what he does combo wise. Yeah, so basically here you have this motion cross post auto motion route is such a cool route because it's like a perfect clear out, and it just does some things that really mess with the defense. But anyway, so he's gonna run this streak. He's got a drag here. He's got a running back streak. So really the two-man game on the right side is gonna be this like it's almost like a wheel, so it also pulls flat out. And then he's got this right here. So he's got, kind of attacking this side over here with that. And then the three level combo is he's got that stemmed up curl, he's got a stemmed down corner, and then he's got a drag. So the curl could also be a streak, right? But it's probably gonna be a curl. That's your clear out route. Your corner route is your high read, and your drag is your low read. So that's kind of how he has this play set up. So as you see here, this flat is kind of pulling out, and that's getting open. However, Vic has to scramble out of the pocket because he is going to get pressured on this play. We'll see what pass rush Wesley utilizes. It's going to be that send 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Henry does a good job of rolling out. He air trucks to get the speed burst to get away. And so again, you've got three people there, but he's able to outrun all of them because he's not only fast, but he's getting a speed boost because of the air truck. And then he's got this read or this read. And basically, this guy is in no man's land, and he has to choose. Wesley clicks onto this user. That's probably the throw, but Henry's able to just play conservative and just run the ball with his quarterback and able to get up for a couple of yards. So see what he ends up going to here on 1st and 10 from the 30. I mean, it looks like he's got almost like a smash return play. I didn't love that play, just not a lot. More of a man beating specific. I believe Henry's in Jags, but he might be in. Maybe he's in Lions too, but I don't think so. I could be wrong. But he's looking at that running back in route play a lot. That's like his man beating play. No, I'm pretty sure he's in Jags. I don't think Lions has bunch tight end. Going to that stem down corner. Part of the purpose for that stem down corner is it's really good against man. That tight end stem down corner really good against man. He's got a slot fade to clear out. Good switch hook by Wesley. And this is what I think is really good. So when you run vertical, all these guys, it almost like to a degree scares this switch. And so because you don't want to give up a touchdown, you end up using these underneath guys, which is good. And he pulls them back into coverage, but it leaves this wide open underneath check down. And Henry does a good job of just hitting that, taking what the defense gives him. And now he goes from a 3rd and 10 to a 4th and 1. He gives himself a little bit more of a manageable 4th down situation. I do believe that with switch stick, it has really made it so that you have to kind of to a degree, avoid negative plays, stay on schedule a little bit more than you had to in previous years. But what you'll see here is, again, he's just going to scramble a Vic, take his free yards, and he is going to be able to get kind of an easy 1st down on a 4th down. Going to go to off trio close. Going to go to smash return, one of the lesser called plays here. And honestly, I didn't love that combo. He has a running back streak going into that return route, but worked out for him. 1st and 10 from the 42. Again, Wesley staying in this double mug. He's actually played decent defense. It's just kind of some key, and this really in some key situations, and there just pops a drag. Really, just in some key situations, Henry has been able to scramble, extend the play, whereas in the 1-4-6, we really haven't seen Wesley scramble as much. So that's kind of I think the biggest difference. He loves this, but Wesley does a good job using this play. and there's another Vic scramble again, and he just keeps that, he keeps that offense on schedule. Henry going to take this down to the end of the first quarter, and he is going to have a red zone opportunity. I believe this is his second red zone possession of the game, and I can't remember how he got in on the first one. Or he scrambled, right? Yeah, he scrambled with Vic and got in. Here again, there's the air truck. There's the scramble again, right? And so you're just starting to see a theme here that, when the play breaks down, Vic's able to extend plays, make plays. The air truck is the speed burst. I love this play. This is that motion RPO. This is a really good play. He chooses to hand this off, and he actually doesn't have the auto motion. I think that plays a little better with the auto motion. And does he turn? Okay, here we go. So this is one of the main reasons that Henry is in Jaguars playbook is for this trip tight end in the red zone. You have the quarterback run game over here. You have the run and the bubble that you can go to, and then you also have China Y post with this running back flat, and this running back flat is just super super good. Gets into a nice spot on the field. So you see here, Henry decides he wants to throw the bubble screen. Honestly, great defense from Wesley, and that's going to be a pick six. You can't make those mistakes in the red zone. That's literally a 14 play turnaround, essentially. You take 7 points off your board, you give them 7 points. It really is a 14-point swing. And Wesley now, when Henry could have been up 14-7, now Wesley's up 14-7 and Henry ball. Just a bad read, bad decision all around. And if you look back at this real quick, you're going to see one thing that Wesley does that is really, really important. So more than likely, Wesley hard flatted on that play, more than likely. But I want you to watch what he does here. So he's setting up his defense, right? And he knows that this formation has this bubble. So what he does is he takes this safety and watch, he clicks onto him and he widens him out. And then he actually sits here. And if you look, he just slightly moved that guy in just a little bit. So the big trick is to stop RPOs in Madden. What you want to do is you want to get the safety out wider than the slot corner, basically. And what that does, for whatever reason, is you see here that this guy targets the safety who's not in the hard flat, and then it allows this hard flat to actually play the bubble screen, and he gets the pick six. So, anyways, that's a big tip with RPOs. If you struggle stopping RPOs in this game, that is a huge tip that was actually played out in a $2,000 tournament against two of the best players that we've seen, in my opinion, the two best players that we've seen in the last 5 years. Maybe not necessarily isolated years, but if we take all of the last 5 years in its entirety, I think these are probably the top two guys. You might be able to put Fancy in that category after what he did last year, and I think John is right there as well. But these are at least two of the top five players in the last 5 years. So, anyways, Henry kind of goes to a rhythm, what I call rhythm play, just a simple, one of the things you also see at these high levels, right? Most of the time, and here we see just a crazy play. I'll get back to what I was saying in just a minute, but essentially here, he's just got a streak in a corner, and this middle third gets held up, and it looks like Wesley outside thirded this guy, or I don't know what he did there. But basically, this guy went over here, and this guy did not get enough depth, and this is a free touchdown. Honestly, this is a very free touchdown for somebody of Henry's caliber. Gets a good rat catch. He should be able to get out of there for a touchdown. He is able to. But anyways, one of the things that I want to talk about is when you watch some of these high level players play on offense, they don't necessarily like they just simply call plays that are basically good and have answers against every coverage in the game. They have man answers, they have zone answers, they have all of those answers kind of built into the play and the route combo that they're actually running. And I think that's one of the big things that really separates, top level players is that they're able to run consistently. Like I don't know, I don't know a better term, but quote unquote money plays. So anyway, right here, you're gonna see kind of a crazy play again. Again, a relatively basic coverage shell. This is what's always crazy to me is when they make mistakes. You don't have to go crazy with your adjustments. So Henry is in a literal cover three hard flat basic coverage with two hook curls. Okay. Watch what happens here. You're going to see he switch sticks, so he is adjusting to this, but he switch sticks there. Wesley's anticipating this open, but he's kind of breaking down the scramble, the pocket, the pressure. All of those things are collapsing, and this is open, but he just gets, I don't know what happens. Bad animation, could have high pointed it. I don't know what happens. Overruns it completely, gets an inaccurate, whatever it may be. Henry gets a stop, playing one of the most basic coverages that you see. And I think that is because no matter how good of a player you are, even if you're one of the best passers in the world, you're still going to make mistakes, throw things off your back foot. Pressure breaks down, pocket collapses. And so Henry, in a very basic defense, ends up getting a huge stop. So, anyway. So, this is that play he ran before that I didn't love. I believe it's probably this Y option pivot play that he's going to go to. And what I think he's able to do is he actually stems this zig up, I think. But basically, what he's going to get here is he has this tight end wheel. It's going to run really flat, and then it's going to wheel up. And then he's got this super deep zig that can beat man and can kind of get in a soft spot. You see the yellow there. And then he's kind of countering that with this little pivot route, or this Texas route. Anyway, he's able to take the zig, and he is able to, get some easy yardage on first down. One thing that is a factor is the clock here. It kind of is up to Henry in terms of how he wants to do this. More than likely, he's just going to try to score 7, but the clock is definitely a factor. There you see there's that post spacing switch. Again, what does Wesley do? And this is what I've been talking about. I haven't gotten too far into it here. But this is a relatively, like, why do you call spacing switch? You call spacing switch because this table route is really good. So he pairs this table route with a return route. So he's able to attack the flat, the yellow here, and the yellow here. So he's able to attack a lot of space over here to the left. Then on the backside, you run spacing switch because this little guy right here is going to sit in a soft spot against zone. And then he actually puts a post and he stems it down. What Wesley does is he runs basically, cover 0 effectively, and the man coverage just gets fried for a touchdown. The stem down post, fry man for a touchdown. Again, I talked about putting routes on the field that can beat every coverage. The tight end hitch is going to be really good for cover 3, cover 4. The out route is going to be good for cover 2. The post is going to be good for cover 0. The running back route is going to be good for cover 0. It's also going to be good for anything that's not a hard flat. And this little pivot route is really good for things that are a hard flat. So he's got answers against everything. And you see right here, the main coverage just gets fried. Simple as that. It's a touchdown. It's a free touchdown. Again, good old cover 0. It's my argument every single year. Every single year you see people start in a cover 0 meta, and the meta typically throughout the year will eventually shift back to zone coverage. And I think maybe you should just stay in zone coverage, because what zone coverage does normally is zone coverage does not give up big plays. Normally, if you play good zone coverage, especially in the switch stick era. And then secondly, zone, that was crazy scramble, by the way. But zone coverage does not typically give up one play touchdowns if you play it well. And then also, zone coverage is going to limit. It's going to kind of keep the lid on and force them to have to like check down, as you see right there. Good defense, throw away. The other thing about zone coverage is it all looks the same, but it could be different things behind it. Now, that's a good principle for defense in general, but the thing I like about zone coverage is they are a little more baity than man coverage. You kind of know what man coverage is going to do. So, anyway, what I like, but I do like what Henry does, where he kind of goes to this man coverage and big downs. He'll cross man a lot more in big downs. But first down, second down defense, normally pretty basic defenses. And then on the third down, fourth down, he'll start to really kind of like cross man, try to predict what you're going to do and snap on it. It's one of the things that Henry does better than anybody else in this game. Is he's probably the best in terms of like in-game adjustments and really pre-snap adjustments. where I think, Henry has had to get better, really forced to get better over the last year, is really just in his switch stick and how he actually adjusts after the play snapped, um, which has been really, really, really big for him, in my opinion, and really taken his game kind of back to that top of the world, number one player in the world type thing. So we'll see what he's able to do in the first live event of the year, which is coming up this week. So I'm gonna be super excited to break that down for you as well. Those are always my favorite videos to do. I love watching those games. Those are high stakes games, best players in the world. Live events are just super super fun. So anyway, all right. So Henry did get Wesley on a 4th and 2. Here, see, this was a fancy thing. This is something fancy does in these 4th and 2 situations. He would go to like this. This is actually what he did against John Beast a lot in the Madden Bowl last year. Was he would go to this cover 2, and then he would basically just like play it, right? He would just send them. Now, the thing I don't like about this is these vert hooks are terrible in this game. They're really bad zones, but Henry's going to adjust, as you see. Man up. More than likely, and he hook curls his user here, more than likely he's going to switch on this deep half off the snap here. So, and then took the vert hook off there. He's also 1, 2, 3, 4 purpose primarily to keep Vic in the pocket. If Vic blocks, this guy will spy. But the one issue with his defense to me is that you took your defensive tackle, you put him on a hook curl. There's nobody in the middle of the field. So we'll see how this plays out. But I would anticipate a Vic scramble right up the middle. And really, there's so much congestion underneath, can't really do that. And so, yeah, this just broke the man coverage, just calling a good man beating play. Kind of the same play that Henry was going to with that inside cross, the 2 meshing routes over the middle of the field. Again, the man coverage did what as you notice on the left side, the man coverage actually bumped. So the guy manned up on that player, bumped into the defensive tackle. Had Henry spied there, might have got a little better result. I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, man, the man coverage in this game, it bumps a lot, and normally it's in favor of the offense. Normally, love that feature at the bottom there. We're still seeing that where the scoreboard changes to the Chiefs Eagles in a game. That's always a great feature. Hope they get that fixed before a live event. And that's a good scramble. And Henry makes a little face here. Here's why. So what Wesley does here, he does. I believe. If you watch his animation, he's gonna do the juke scramble, and this is why the juke scramble is so much more better, like better than the other one. This is a standard shell for Henry. He's gonna man up, and then cover 3 out basically, and then he'll tend to switch onto this third. But essentially here, so as you see, he man up, switch stick on this third once he saw the tight end was running like a wheel. But watch Wesley. So he's standing in the pocket. He's going to get a little pressure. You see that little step back right there? I believe that's the juke. And so you'll see like he just gets this immediate speed boost up, and he's able to just get out of there and get a touchdown out of that. Henry misses a tackle, and that's all she wrote. It's a good touchdown from West. And there you go. So now Henry is going to be in a kind of a position here. He's got a minute 15. He's going to have 1 timeout. And these last 2 minutes are super, super important. We'll see what he's able to do. Going to just take this at the 35, middle of the field, though. So he's not on a hash. He does only have 1 timeout, so he can't really run this ball. You kind of have to throw this, and passing in the middle of the field is really never what you want. So that is going to be something to look out for here. Let's see what he's going to do here. First and 10, a couple timeouts from both sides here. Wesley takes a timeout. Let's see if we can actually get to the play here. All right. So we got Wesley jumps into the 140. So if you take a look here, actually Wesley jumps in $1. So Wesley was a dollar guy all last year, dollar guy this year. Basically, what you do, it's very similar to what Henry's doing, but essentially, what you do is you're going to get this loop right here. That's the main thing, and then you're going to switch stick out of it. Basically, it's the whole purpose of the defense is to try to optimize your switch stick, which I think is what Wesley does best defensively. So you see here, he gets a little pressure. Henry kind of trying to get this in route, ends up taking the drag, um, but decides to juke up. Actually, like gets an unbelievable play right there by number 15, Michael Crabtree. Just played his heart out, like left it all on the line for his squad and got some big yardage there. And there's that stemmed up curl, uses the route that Wesley loves against him there, hits that stemmed up curl. Beauty of that stemmed up curl is because when you're playing the defense, you're switch sticking, you think the curl is going to be a streak, and then he just stops. And it's been a money route this year. It's been one of the new developments, in my opinion, for attacking. Switch stick basically has been the stemmed up curl. So there we go. Well, again, Henry going with his underneath mesh a lot. Um, I don't feel like it's really clean. It is. He's making good open reads, but I do feel like Wesley's kind of been right there on that play a lot. We'll see, but it is forcing Wesley to hard flat on both sides, which is going to open up other things. There's the air truck. There's the scramble, and he's just going to decide that he wants to throw the ball to the wrong team. Almost throws an interception. So if you look here, I think what Henry saw is like he saw this stop, and so I think he thought he could just maybe fit this in. But Wesley switch sticks to it. And here we're way too late, and I think he just maybe thought he was going to throw it where only his receiver could catch it, which I guess technically happens. But as you see, Wesley picks him, but doesn't get his feet in bounce. And that's a 4th and 3. Now, Henry's going to choose to go. He is going to choose to go for this, which is kind of an interesting decision. This is probably because it's a $2,000 PL, not an MCS live event. And he's going to go with that running back seam wheel, hit it. There's a timeout. Now he's going to give himself one throw, probably one throw. This also could be because of, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's primarily just because it's not for the main live event there. Going to take that check down. He's with the ball at the 7. He's really got one pass. Probably going to look for the slant or the flat. I don't know what he's dialing up here on the post. There's a flat on the right side. Looks to that running back flat. He actually gets him. And that's a hard flat glitch. He actually glitched his zone. If you look to the left side here, this is those speed table routes that you can get. You can't hot route these. These are in the actual play themselves. Double slants. Look at this zone. I think that might be a cloud, but I don't know what I don't know what that zone is, but anyways, he ends up getting him over there and able to attack it. Could have been a hard flat, could have been a cloud, could have been a soft squat. But at the end of the day, the zone went 5 yards to the middle of the field, and Henry's able to hit him and get a big touchdown, honestly, on a big down right before half. All right, second half of action here. Henry is going to get the ball, so that 7 before half is actually massive with him getting the ball out of half here. He is going to be put in a position where he can actually advance this to a 2-position lead, which is huge in a game of Madden. He's actually going to go to that motion play. He might be in Lions too. I did not realize that he had that play. Let's take a look here. I'm going to pull up the playbooks. He might have shifted over to Lions. Anywho, pretty much going to be Bunch X Nasty. That's kind of the offense we're seeing. A lot of people in Bunch X Nasty. And there, Wesley just lurks him. Let's take a look at what happens on this play. So, spacing switch set up for Henry. And on the left side, I don't know what. I mean, that looks to be a curl. We've got this table. We're going to do a stemmed up curl about that yay depth. Going to run. Yeah, I don't know what he saw there. Um, yeah, don't know what he saw there. Good user from Wes, able to snap on it, able to break on it, able to take it away. He's going to take a look at the replay. But I mean, that was just basically usered. Need to take a look at the Jags Munchak's Nasty to see. No, Jags does have motion HB choice. Okay. So I think Henry's probably still in Jags. Crossfire. And all of a sudden, Wesley is right back in this game, just like that. All of a sudden, and this is how these PL games go. A lot of times they're crazy games, and they kind of flip quick. But there's that hard flat, right? So there's that hard flat. This little swing route that Wesley does, what that does for him is this swing will actually pull a hard flat down significantly. As you see here, kind of pulls this route. And then because he called this with his bunch to the short hash, he gets all this space for this to run. And so gives Henry a lot of stuff that he has to worry about over here. But really, this hard flat snaps down. This throw is wide open. And it's a great job by Wesley to get right back in the ball game. A ball game that he found himself in a position, a pretty bad position, and was able to get a stop and a score within 2 plays, right back in the game, right back in a position to potentially win this game. So it was a great job by Wesley there, kind of not letting the game get away from him after Henry had made a couple good plays. Wesley able to kind of come back, make a couple good plays of his own. And now, we have a tie ball game third quarter. Really, it's, kind of 0-0 essentially. And so we'll see what Henry's able to do offensively on this possession. But that was a really, really good couple play sequence from Wesley. See what they end up going to here. Going to go back to spacing switch. This appears to be the combo that he ran. It was this with a streak, a post, like a dagger setup, but you have this table. And then it could have been a curl, but I think it might have just been a streak. So anyway, it goes right back to the same-ish play. And now a little bit more patient on this, a little bit more patient on this. Wesley's going to use her this drag right here, and that's the throw. He is going to throw it, and that's the catch in traffic in this game. In this game, you can catch the ball in traffic fairly consistently when you throw into tight windows, and so he just throws that into that tight window, gets a nice ad catch, and is able to just keep the ball moving down the field. All right, 1st and 10. Going to go to motion cross post, I believe. Kind of a really unique route combo there. Nothing open. I'll tell you, man. All right, let's look at this. So, I was talking about how they call, consistently calling good plays, right? This is one of the things you'll notice. So, like, every now and then they'll try to do, I don't know if the word would be like a gotcha play or a play specific, right? And it's almost like every time they do that, they just get caged. And you see it here. Like you have this, you have a return route, and then you basically have a post and a corner. Problem is, you don't have a great clear out for the post. You don't have a great clear out for the corner. It would appear to me that he's calling this play on purpose to beat man coverage, and he has nothing open, right? He had the return route ironically, but he shouldn't even have that. Like, those are just, I don't know, to me, you want to just call, like, there's not as many play calls in a game as you might think. Like in a competitive Madden game, there's really only about, I would say, 60-ish play calls. Here he actually has a beam. What is this? This is a slot fade with a wheel, which you do not see this. And then on the left, you get that little 3-level thing. But he just hits this wheel. It's a great route. Gets in a really tough spot to defend of the field. He's able to rack out of there and get in a touchdown. So, anyways, what I was saying is I think because you have such a limited amount of play calls, you really want to stick to like everything beaters as much as possible, having answers for every coverage. because when you call a play like that and you don't have an answer for cover four hard flat, to me that's an issue. So anyway, 1st and 10 on the 26. Henry going to stay in this 140 and he's going to stay in this zone basically. And I love this. Right there, that's great. You know, good, defense from Henry, able to just hold him down. The other thing about that was really good, is really positive, is just again, just gosh, I just think it's so like watch Henry's gonna play a lot of zone. I think he's gonna sit in zone more. He'll snap into man situationally, but notice how Wesley has to just take his check down, just take his check down, just take check down. Which honestly, I think Wesley kind of wants to do. Like that's how he likes to play. But and then you'll see here like situationally, we're gonna get a little bit of an adjust. He's actually blitzing a safety. Or no, that's just a slot corner from super depth. Good read from Wesley. See what combo he ends up going to. This is motion cross post. And he goes with that streak. That route right there. Slot fade, corner, drag. That's what I'm talking about. You just have answers for everything with this combo. You have the slot fade. You have the high read right here. You have a low read right here. You have an alternate read right here. And you have kind of an outlet receiver over here. Like you just have answers. And there's his answer. It's his corner. Good read. Good play. Right all around, just good play. Wesley might be looking at that slot corner blitzing from depth here. Kind of crazy came in though. Starts out in short side, bunch X nasty most of the time. And then he flips into wide side most of the time. Another reason why you see Henry probably in this 146 goes back to that same blitz, trying to get that same type of pressure. Didn't work twice. Other thing about this is here you see you're going to get that streak, the same play Henry ran. But look where Henry's user is. He gets kind of out of position, and you've got that wide open for an easy completion. Get upfield and red zone possession for Wesley. Now this is the purpose of playing zone. You get them down here in the red zone, and then this is the hardest place to score. So you see Henry goes with 2 hook curls. He's got 2 contain. There's the contain, there's the fumble, and that's going to be for 6. And now you've got a 42-28 ball game. This is such a big play. Like it's what I'm talking about. Comes out, right? He's in his defense. Now, this was one of the first times you saw him contain. One of the first times. Why does he do this? Because if you look really closely at the best players in the world right now, what they're doing in the red zone is they are running good plays, but generally the way they're scoring is with a Vic scramble. And so you see he's going to take that away with these contains, with this loop. He mans himself up to the slot, probably in case you get like a crosser, I would think. He does have 2 hard flats and 2 outside thirds, which is kind of an interesting way to play it. The 2 hook curls appear to be on standard depth or a 10-yard drop. Either way, they're going to play kind of those curls, so you can't really throw any stemmed up curls. And you see Henry's going to switch stick onto one of them. There's that man up there kind of following that, really for no reason. But look at what Wesley's doing, by the way. Let's actually break down the scramble here. So you're going to see Wesley is going to basically be like stuck in the pocket. You see that little turnaround like that? That's him trying to glitch and scramble out. The contain actually contained there, and he gets a sack fumble. That was the juke scramble that we talked about. And Parsons will take this all the way back for a touchdown. Now he's up 2 possessions, and there's only about 7 minutes left in the ball game. And I think it just kind of goes to highlight how Bemba don't break, getting stops in the red zone based off switch stick is kind of one of the better ways to play defense. And I think it's going to be one of the better ways to play defense this year. Even though the blitzes are this is probably the worst that I've seen blitzing in Madden in a long time. And, you're going to get this Sid 4 basically. Pretty good coverage there. And gonna hit a route bounce late. Wesley gonna kind of get a broken play here. Literally just the definition of a broken play. Breaks one tackle. Air trucks, air trucks, air trucks, and there it is. That's kind of crazy. I think Henry thought he was going to be able to get back there, wasn't able to. Got himself out of position, can't tackle. And Wesley kind of got a touchdown. But because of that sack fumble in the red zone and the score from Henry, he went up 2 possessions. So now Wesley scoring, but Henry's still up 1 possession. So the way he calls his plays, the way he's going to play this next drive, not this could be more of a clock management drive. Probably would be in a bigger game. Now, because he's probably just trying to get reps in this tournament for the live event, he's probably going to run more of a basic offense. Here, this is another route that if you don't have in your arsenal, you should. This is, if we take a look at this, I don't think we're going to actually get to see the art of it, but it's an in route. So he puts it in route, but then he stems it up 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4-ish times, and it's going to be right here. So watch how this route runs. He has high read or clear out, high read, low read, and then his alternate read is this in route right here. So watch how this runs. It's actually great play. So you see Wesley is kind of worried over here. And then this is where this stemmed up in route just gets into such a good spot. And because it's an in route, it cuts so flat that it doesn't need a clear out. So as you see, it just sharply cuts right in the soft spot, able to complete it, possession catch it, and voila, there you are for a very, very good, very good play. Motion cross post going to be the standard setup we saw a lot last year. Heavy flood to the left side. You got a flat. You got a streak. You've got a sheet motion. You've got this little slot drag, and then you've got the wraparound post to the tight end. Could be looking here. So you look right there. Not there, but why call this play? Because Wesley been running a lot of cover 2 over here. So Wesley does run cover 2. So now this defender's in a lot of conflict. And you see how he's backing up like that. Now, Henry could wait. Honestly, he could wait, but he is getting blitzed. He could wait on this to clear, but he is getting the pressure. So he's going to do a good job. Just check it down to the back. And it's almost like a screen. As you see, you get this block here, and then he can kind of get outside of this. As you see right there, get outside of this, get some free yards. Another thing Henry did right there, intentionally on purpose, is he stayed in bounds, making this clock a factor. As you see, it goes down to 15, right? He's going to be taking some clock here. And he's not running the ball, but he is like throwing the ball inbounds and taking clock. There, he kind of got a bad play. And Vic did that massive wind-up thing. That he does on deep passes. Spacing switch, kind of another constraint theory play, just keeping Wesley honest. Get some good yardage here. Vic's got 400 yards passing. Henry does have chew clock on. Again, this is due to the possession advantage because he's up 1 possession. He's now, he's in field goal range now. He's trying to get this over with, trying to get that to that 2-possession lead. Kind of a scary read right there, but you can catch everything in traffic in this game, so he's able to just catch it, cut it off. It's that motion play or drive under play that he likes. This should be, so you got a little speed out. You've got a deep speed out, which I don't know why. I would assume just a red zone dot, but basically you've got that underneath mesh, and then you've got that deep in route coming in behind it. So you've got boom, boom. You're looking in these pockets here, and you see the running back will come open. So as you see the user dive here, it's a good read from Henry. So he knows this running back's about to come open, so he's looking, but he sees Wesley user it. So he gets right up to where Wesley user should have been, which is this read. And this is literally the definition of a high-low. You have a high read and a low read, and the user chooses the low read, and so this high read is wide open. And he's able to cut up field. And he gets tackled there. And honestly, that's pretty Like, best case scenario for Wesley is that tackle there, because if you can hold him to 3, right? Red zone, potential red zone stop. Henry going to go to the trips. Going to go to a little motion play. Almost threw a pick there. He did high point it. So just didn't get a good animation. He's going to go to the bubble again, and this time he just hands it off. One thing's about trips. Why Henry flips his trips? So partially because of the hash mark, but also in trips tied in, you get a Michael Vick is left-handed. You're going to get a much faster handoff animation when you run it with the running back on the side of the handoff of the hand, the throwing hand of the quarterback. So you see here, he gets that nice fast handoff animation. He's looking out here, and doesn't look too open. But this right here just gets good blocking. He's able to get in there and kind of a free touchdown in the red zone. And he's going to go up 49-35. And now we'll see what Wesley's plan of attack is on offense. Now, what's crazy is Henry has ran 3-3 double mug pretty much all season long. For the last month, he's been in 3-3 double mug for the most part. He pretty much put it on the map the way people run it right now, and he switches into this 1-4-6 loop contain defense. He's really, as you see, like loop comes in there, gets some pressure. It's not coming in every single time, but it's coming in enough to where Wesley has to set up pass pro. Wesley's probably not going to block his running back a lot, but the pass pro could be relatively inconsistent. You see, I mean, he's 7-5 out pretty much all game, but the rollout has been hard. You know what I mean? Like he's been uncomfortable, and again, I know Henry gave up 35 here, but one of those was a pick six. He's really giving about 28. I don't know, just highlights like this, and there's a pick, right? I mean, and again, this is what I'm saying. So he's just crouching right. He's not actually containing, but he's getting this guy out here. But what happens is watch this from Wesley. So you see Loop comes in. Okay, so he's getting pressured. He can't really scramble out of this because this guy's speed. He's faster than like a defensive end would be. And Wesley basically just tries to force a throw at a user, maybe anticipating a switch. Henry stays on it. He gets the interception. And now he's not only up 2 touchdowns with ball, easy 17-point lead. Wesley's going to go ahead and quit out of this game, and that's going to be that. So, anyways, wanted to break this one down. I thought this was one of the better games the last couple of days, and it was a Henry versus Wesley matchup. How can you not be hyped to break that down? A lot of back and forth here, but really Henry showing a kind of newer, not necessarily even newer, but different way of playing defense than what we've really seen so far. This loop, this contain, keeping Vic in the pocket for the most part, and really just playing a bend but don't break zone shell, by and large, was what ultimately it took to beat one of the best passers in the world. So a lot of things to learn from this one. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown. If you're looking to take your Madden or college football game to the next level, join our school community today for just $10. It'll get you access to everything that I know about Madden and college football, and those links are all available in the description below.